YouTube, this is Johnny with J.A.M. Forge, apparently J.A.M. Forge and other things. Don't show myself on here much because I'm pretty ugly. But anyway, I got a buddy of mine brought me this tractor. It's a Ford, Chinese made, older Ford 2021, but or 2120 is the model, but it's hydraulic fluid here, this ram. And looking at it, the first thing I can see, and I already pointed this out to him, is that this ram was broke at one time and somebody welded it, and they left all these little I don't know if you can see, I'm sure you can see them there, little balls of welding debris. I don't remember the appropriate name for them. It's not slag, it's actual metal that's stuck to the cylinder here. And I believe that when they tilt this thing all the way back and suck it up, it damaged seal inside that ram. That's the only one leaking. I sprayed everything down. That's why this side looks wet, but you can see where this side here is definitely leaking. See all that? And what we're gonna do is I don't know how hard they're gonna be to get loose from up here, but I'm probably gonna just maybe even try to rebuild them on the tractor, clean that welding spatter, I think is the name of it, off of there. And might just try to get the bottom pins out, loosen those lines, rebuild it right here on the machine. But we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and rebuild both of them because they are linked together. And I don't know how scientific my theory is, but every time I've ever replaced one ram in a system that's linked together, a few days later the other ram starts leaking. So I don't know how scientific that is, but that's what my experience has been. So I'm gonna take these pins out of the bottom and see how hard the top ones are to get out, and then I'll come back in a second, let y'all see the actual rebuild on these. Have Marion wire in them, what they call Marion wire. So there's little slots down in here that you'll have to turn this cap with a pipe wrench. You can see this side better probably. Turn this cap with a pipe wrench, get that wire out of there, and then that cap will come off. And once that cap's off, you can pull the center cylinder out, and then we'll take the cylinder apart, go down to the hydraulic place and get new O-rings, wiper rings and stuff for it, and reassemble it. So with that being said, let's get, I hate people to say with that being said on their damn YouTube videos, but anyway, so that's step one. Let's get it disassembled or figure out if I'm gonna have to do it on the tractor if I can't get these upper pins out. I have to get the bottom pins out. I don't have a choice, or actually one side or the other has to come out. So hopefully, after I've already sprayed them with lubricant and everything, hopefully we can get the pins out pretty easily. So we'll try it. So this is the point where you'd rather be working on any other cylinder but these cylinders with this what's called Marion wire in them, or what I was told was called Marion wire. That wire right there was in that hole, and for your ears' sake and preserving the integrity of the video, I took that wire out off of video. It see the vice grips there clipped on them, big pipe wrench. Put it in the vise and just turn that cap and try to fight that wire till you get it started up out, but you can't stretch that wire out or it'll shatter. It's tempered steel and it's like a spring steel, but if you pull on it, it'll break. I did not break this one, but it was a battle. It's 70 degrees maybe out here and I'm covered in sweat and highly agitated, but I got it out. And I'll get the other one out. There's the other ram. They came off the tractor. I didn't video any of that because they came off so easy. It was pointless, I thought, the video. The only problem I had was I had to take these lines loose from here instead of the ram. I could have got this one loose, maybe. But this one I couldn't get loose because, well, one of us only owns Craftsman tools and they're too fat to fit in there. I had a little cheap Chinese set of real thin wrenches I tried to put on it, and it just broke the wrench or whatever, opened the wrench up, and it's just easy to take them loose from the other ends. The other ends had the swivels anyway. But I'm gonna just leave the lines intact. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this apart now and come back to it in a little bit. It should come out now relatively easy now that the wire's out. And when you buy the new kit, it'll come with that wire. But this is the ram here that was leaking. It has those little pieces I want to clean up. So I'm gonna get this thing apart. All right, so I wanted to show you all this. I do have that chrome piece of that ram. Pulled it apart, got the wire like I showed. Oh, look at this thing making a mess all over my tools. Damn it. Anyway, I've got the quite a mess in my shop anyway. I'm a hobby blacksmith. I'm not a mechanic, so I got horseshoes and things all about. Anyway, this is what I want to show y'all. So the nut inside here that holds this cap on, it's 1.5 inches on these. I know I have this in a vise, but don't let this deceive you. This vise is not tight. If you move it, it'll turn very easily. You don't want to scar this cylinder up no matter what. I've already cleaned and polished the little burrs I was talking about earlier that I think caused the leak to begin with. It's slick now. So what I'm going to do is, while this is in the vise, like I said, it is definitely not tight. It is loose in the vise. It's not tight. So I'm going to put a rod in the end of here to hold it, and I'm going to take it loose with that nut. Or I might clip a pipe wrench on the outside here. But the main thing, don't damage the inside of this hole. It's hardened steel. It will be tough to damage. But do not scratch, dent, put marks, anything on this chrome alloy here. It will make the seals leak. It causes problems. Like I said, that's what probably caused this. So just from my general knowledge, and this is all that's in the ram, by the way. It's an empty tube right here, completely empty except for hydraulic fluid. The little Marion wire. This seal, this O-ring, nothing goes here, the Marion wire. And there's a seal in the end of here that's leaking. Over here you've got this seal, and this ring here is called a wiper ring. And most of the time on the inside of here there are 2 O-rings in here. We're going to see in a minute on this one. But like I said, the main thing is the travel of this seal was interrupted by those sharp pieces, and I believe that's what cut the inside of the seal. So we're not going to make any marrings on this cylinder, no more than it already has from being on that tractor for however old that old tractor is. So I'm going to hold it, I'm going to take it loose, and I'll come back and show y'all what's inside it. I'm just going to hit the pause button here. Alright, real quick, just so y'all don't think I pull the wool over your eyes. Getting that bolt off the end of there proved to be more of a challenge than I thought. Here it is, though. I got it off. I hooked these 2 big wrenches together. 1.5 inches to fit it, and the other one I clamped on the end of it to make a makeshift breaker bar. Couldn't hold it by myself, of course. So took it out to the tractor, stuck the pin back through it on that bottom piece right there, and I had it leaned up against here so I couldn't bend it. There was no pressure on it. All the pin was doing was holding it from twisting. And I leaned that wrench up against here. Well, let me get my finger to focus, up against here, and I put that other big wrench on the end of it. Man, it took a lick. I didn't want to hook up, didn't want to turn the air compressor on and put a big impact on it. So I just did it this way. It's only 1 damn bolt. Then on my other ram I took apart like this. All I was able to just pull that end off of there, that little cylinder. On this one here it didn't happen. You see how I got it off? I built this press a long time ago. Finally had a use for it. So I just rigged, put it in the press, put the little flat piece of iron on top of it to extend it so I wouldn't damage the end of it here. And I pressed it and it went pretty easy, to be honest. And it still won't come out. So what I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna stand this up in this hole. And no, I'm not recommending y'all do this at home. Don't get carried away with the OSHA videos. And I'm gonna lightly just push it out. It's going real easy. If I had somebody to hold the camera, I'd leave the camera on and show y'all, but I don't. And I don't think there's any way for me to really prop it up to where you can see. You might can see there. I'll leave it on there just in case. I don't know if it'll stay. But anyway, so that's the plan now. Look toward me a little bit. Just put it on here because it don't have to be that solid. It ain't that big of a push. We're gonna push it on down. Push it right out of there. It should just slide off. I don't know why it's being so hard. It looked like they had some red Loctite or something on it. But see, it's very, very easy. I'm not got no pressure. Well, I claimed I had no pressure. I thought I had no pressure. Looked like I had maybe some pressure. But anyway, oh, what happened was I bottomed the ram bottomed out on me down there. So anyway, all right, I'll get it out of there. Tap it the rest of the way off of there with a rubber hammer. Anyway, it'll come off easy now, I'm sure. So anyway, guys, having a press in your shop is, there's no way to explain how valuable a press is until you need it. You know, I've got that big forging press I built over there, that one, but there's no way to get anything where you can push all the way through, it won't do it. This has a 1-inch hardy hole in the bottom for tooling, but you can't obviously put this shaft through there. You need a shop press for this stuff. Anyway, all right, guys. Well, as you can see, it's very loose. I'll just bump it off there now with a hammer, and then we'll go get parts and reassemble. It'll be a couple days, I'm sure, because I have to go to Houston and get them on a weekday. Today's a Sunday. So, and I got a real job, part-time, help friends, and real time, full-time job. So let me get this finished, disassembled. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll get back to y'all with the what I hope will be the second half if I get my son to teach me how to merge these videos together. If not, it'll be a third half. But anyway, appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Every now and then, maybe I can teach y'all something. Maybe y'all can make some suggestions and teach me something. Again, appreciate your support and viewing. Thank you. All right, YouTube people. Well, today I'm going to show y'all trying to actually get the Marion wire out of this ram that we're building. This is the ram off the Chinese built Ford tractor. So far, I haven't tried to get it out. I did grind the end of these needle nose vice grips down to where they would clamp onto it. I got the cap to spin with the pipe wrench. That's all I've done so far. I haven't tried this to see if this is going to work or not, but I didn't want to miss it if it did work. I have a pair of needle nose pliers to a pair of needle nose vice grips that I machined down or ground down, and I'm going to try to use the force of the pipe wrench to force the needle nose pliers to pull the Marion wire out. Oh, and so begins the battle. The Marion wire again. I've done this before on another big ram, and the big ram was a nightmare. I drilled on it, beat on it, ruined the Marion wire. But this time, the problem is not having a Marion wire to replace this one. I have to get it out pretty much, or not be able to reassemble the ram today anyway. So you see where I ground leaving those pliers down a little thinner so they would fit in this slot. I just don't have there's no good way as far as I know to get these things out of here. If you guys have any suggestions at all, man, I'd love to hear how y'all get them out. Not that I have a ton of subscribers to tell me, but I mean, anybody that's watching this might have experience with the ram. Could definitely help knowing how to get it out of there. See, this is what I was afraid of. It's gonna break and keep breaking, and then it'll be down in there, and there won't be any way to get it out, as far as I know. So I'll try to tap it back the other way a little bit, maybe. All these blacksmithing tools mixed in with my regular tools, but I don't want to hit on it with a chisel. I need to get a punch. I'm gonna pause the video and go get a punch because I don't want to hit it with a chisel. Now, just to be clear, I'm not one of these guys that believes in hosing everything down with lube, as far as taking parts apart anyway. But I'm gonna spray it anyway with this liquid wrench. Probably gonna work the cap back and forth a little with the pipe wrench. You gotta be careful because even though the wire's not moving right now, oh, that's not a sponsor, by the way, so let's get them out of the picture. Just in case, you got to be careful which way you turn it, because if you suck it in there more, you create more of a problem than you're ever going to solve. But I figure at least if I get the cap to turn freely, it helps if you don't grab the ram and the cap. It will aid in getting the wire out, because I won't have to be fighting the cap and the wire. So right now I'm not sure. I am sure I'm fighting both, because I have some resistance for the cap, and you're gonna have resistance a little, but minimize it. Maybe see how free it's. I know y'all can't feel, but you can see it's pretty much one finger turn now. Before it was taking a lot of pressure to turn it. So I'm gonna just take this punch does not fit. So back again, guys. 1 minute, I'm gonna find another one. All right, now we have the appropriate size punch. I'm gonna try to tap the wire. The only end I can see, I believe, is the wrong. I know for sure is the wrong end. So I'll try to tap just enough to maybe free it up, but I surely don't want to push it back in there. Let me get this pipe wrench off of here so y'all can. You're probably not going to be able to see anyway. I don't think I can zoom in from this. No, I can't zoom in from the front. I have it facing front because the stand I have it on, if I put it on the regular camera, I can't see the screen. So that's something else to work on. Anyway, so I'm going to try to tap it back the wrong way. It did not move, it just flexed up. Guys, if you tap it on these things, don't be careful not to hit the silver part of the ram, no matter what. You dent this, scratch it, or anything like I said before, it's over. You're gonna need a new ram. So do not hit on this thing with a solid iron hammer unless you're very, very confident that you're not gonna hit the ram. If you hit the ram and dent it, scratch it, you're in trouble. You're gonna have to have a new cylinder probably. We're gonna clamp back to this again. I'm gonna get a lighter hammer. That's one good thing about being a blacksmith. I have a ton of hammers at my disposal, and I don't want to keep beating on this thing with a sledgehammer. I'll keep working on this wire, hopefully tightening these up a little bit, hopefully not breaking this end off. Just flatten it back out again. Probably gonna wind up breaking it off. If I do, what I have to do is rotate the ram, drill the wire. Don't that sound like fun, drilling spring steel inside a little hole? But I'll keep having to do that up until the point where it's all out. Even though it's in pieces, it'll be all out. If the wire would just move, it would be so nice. But here in the real world, that's not going to happen for us today, I don't think. I hear people talk all the time about, oh, there's nothing to build in a ram, and they're right. There's nothing to build in most of them. You get one with this wire in it, and come back and talk to me about there's nothing to build in a ram. I'm going to go see if I can find a nail that'll fit in there. Maybe I can drive a nail in, try to turn it simultaneously. Be back. I don't know if this helped me or hurt me, but I blunted the end of the nail, so it'll fit in there, and that way I will. This other ram has a lot bigger slot. I think somebody already ground on the other one. But anyway, that way I don't get beside the spring. Try to drop this in the hole. And the nails, like I knew it would, is bending. It's not hardened steel, it's just a nail. I was hoping it would go in first and then follow the contour of the rim. Tell what that is. That's just a sharp part. about this shop. I sure could use some better lighting. Yeah. I don't believe that's gonna work. So back to trying to work some stuff I don't necessarily believe is helping into the situation anyway. Let's see if I get it to take some of it in there. I'll turn this thing repeatedly. See if I can get it to start moving. When I turn it, it does suck the fluid down in. Should be nice if it would spit the wire out like it's designed to do, I'm sure, by the way. But whoever built these things with this wire, instead of having them threaded, these are head punched in. I know that's violence and all that, but politically correct, folks. If you don't feel the same way, you've probably never taken one of these things apart. And by the way, it is Chinese built, so there's always that. I got excited, thought it moved, but what happened was actually the vice grips slipped, I believe. Yeah, it definitely did not move. I think I'm gonna keep breaking it off because there's nothing left to get a hold of. Which would be a bad scenario. I've already done it. Back to tapping the wire with the punch. Try to bend it up again. Too many hammers now. It'd be nice if it would just move. It ain't got to bend up at this point. All right. Not 100% sure. I think it's either I broke the end off or it moved. But now it's so far down in there. One day I'm gonna clean these tables off again. Okay. I believe it's moving. Of course, soon as I said that. I don't know how that goes in the world. But now, the real problem now comes. The real problem now is it's down in there with no parts sticking out. No parts sticking up at all. Down in there flat. Oh, no real way to get it out. And I've already broken one pair of needle nose pliers. Because you don't want to use your high dollar tools when you're trying to grind them down so they fit into places. So, but now I believe the wire is moving. Spray a little more, not the sponsor, in here. Try to drive a nail in here to move it the right way. It's hard to move, though I doubt the nail's going to move it. Actually, I wouldn't. I'm wasting time. No driving a punch in there, for those of you wondering, because the punches. If you watch the video, you probably already know, but a punch is hardened steel. If you try to drive it in there, it won't bend. It's gonna break. Once it does that, your life just got a lot worse. I gotta try to get it back out some. I need something that'll grip and push it. Oh, that's copper. I don't know what that's doing in there. Looking for something maybe with an edge on it, like a chisel. Try to get a hold of it and just knock it out with a sharp corner, but also being a blacksmith, I don't have sharp corners on my tools. Fit in that thing. Sort of almost maybe kind of wanted to fit, but not quite. So we're gonna go back to spinning the cap. See if I can see the slot just fine. I see everything turning now. The one thing that's not moving is the wire. Let's see if I feed can't feed the nail in there with it. I don't know if the diameter of the nail is too big. It fits in the old rim just fine, which will lead me to believe that it should fit in this rim. That's the overall diameter is too big. All right, y'all get the idea. I'm gonna pause this thing and I'm gonna figure out how to get this thing off of here, because not this video is gonna be 3 days long, maybe, I don't know. But I'm gonna pause the camera and I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna catch my breath and I'm gonna figure out how to get this wire out of here. And then I'll come back and explain to you how I finally figured out how to get the wire out. All right, well now I enlisted the help of my son, because I need somebody that can turn this cap at the same time I try to get the wire out. And we're gonna try again. I got a little piece of welding wire. It's been about an hour since I paused the camera, by the way. I've been beating on this thing, tapping it back and forth and modifying tools and everything else. So we're gonna try to suck this wire in there. Go ahead and turn it. You don't get on the ram itself. You got to move off over there. I say it's turning a little bit. I like ground my needle nose pliers down. Needle nose vipers and everything. See if I can force this in there and keep turning. Would it be easier if we put a big pair of channel locks on it?
Probably.
And it's hard to maneuver the pipe frames.
Probably fine.
It might be more out of the way. That part, I think we had this thing started. I'm not sure if that's the end of the wire right there. Because this thing should slide through there. It's smaller than the wire. Well, I'm not the only idiot making noise this morning. Here's some other idiots. This is what the original plan. I wanted to lock on here and maybe tap this while you turned it, because that's on the actual wire. I might have to make these even thinner. I think they're not good pliers. Should we go make them thinner real quick?
Me.
Well, the other option is I had a punch. I had several punches. Broke the tip off this one a while ago. I think it's down in there. But the other option is maybe tap on it with this. While you turn it. Moving now, huh?
They moved a lot.
That's the deal. Sometimes it just takes two folks. You know? If we get it all the way to the end, I have to bend it up here.
Didn't want to make it.
Loves it. Pretty much have to bend it up right there. Right?
Yeah.
I done ground this screwdriver down to nothing. Thank God it's a cheap screwdriver for this purpose. But you gotta be careful because this is spring steel. So you bend it too much, you know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Should be shattered. Like this thing. Which was a high dollar punch, I think.
At one point.
Maybe not. I don't know. I think we got her now, though. Can't get it now, we give up. So, channel, this is the disclaimer. This is the last time you'll ever see a Marion wire rim rebuilt on this damn channel. Unless it's on one of my records, then we have to make an exception. But, friends, I love Clint. He's my good friend. I'd do anything for him except this again. So, you want to keep turning it, and I'll keep tapping this out. I know you gave up on me real quick. I had to get him out of bed, folks. Stop him from watching church and everything else. I'm the only one to notice it's not moving anymore. Man, I got a bite on it too, baby. So I'm thinking, I don't know how dangerous that is.
I don't know either, but it worked.
We're winning, baby. We're winning. Give me a long, smooth stroke. What she said. That worked temporarily for a minute. Now that it's out like that, I can put the pair of vice grips I haven't ground down like. Might help. We'll see how the wire is looking. I got to get the wire to follow the ram. I can't pull it out though. You have to spin it. Let me get a little smaller hammer, maybe be out of your way a little more. I mentioned earlier, the good thing about being a blacksmith, several different size hammers.
Yeah.
All different styles and sizes. I'm not hitting nothing with the vice grips yet. Broke the end off of that thing. Oh, yeah, I'm old. I guess go ahead and keep using the chisel, huh? Try to get me a little better tap on it. Oh, buddy. Keep breaking it today and nothing left. That ain't gonna be good either. Oh, got the meat, baby. Vice grips hitting anything yet?
They're about to hit the bottom of the way.
Gonna roll with the ram?
Yeah.
Trying to put some pressure on it. Got loose. Screw her too much, she got loose. That ain't WD-40.
Liquid red.
Don't use their proper name. Nobody sponsors this channel.
Yeah. That's how you get sponsored.
Let the plate rings on the other side. Let the plate rings right side up. Like that.
That's exactly the same.
Yeah, I know, but except the head of the weight is the head of the weight. This way you got the weight of the head going down.
Yeah.
Oh, that is. Hold up on the head of it. stop, it slips off.
Yeah.
Moral of the story, don't have friends.
Pretty much.
At least not with equipment. Man, I can't believe we're out of the room again. How long is this damn wire?
Time to reset. It's my least favorite project.
All these favorite projects in the RAM with Marion wire in it.
That's what I'm saying. This is how we-
The wire move?
Yeah. There you go.
Oh! Uh-oh. I can't get no wire for them. They're Chinese. Got it out, folks. Don't ever do this at home. Alright, so we got the fluid drained into the bucket by pushing the ram back and forth. I got the wire out. Y'all seen that? The wire maintained pretty much its integrity. If it didn't, I don't know what I would do. I'd probably substitute a welding wire, welding rod, 7018, beat the flux off it, put it in there, not say nothing to nobody, especially y'all. But it did maintain its integrity. So now the wire's out. All you got to do, tap this, and I didn't do this damage to it. This tractor was made in 1940 something in China. So even though it's a 40. So now we just got to get it apart. So the easiest way is to have your young son get a rag from somewhere.
The first step is to buy rags.
Oh, there's rags over there. I used them earlier.
I can be.
And he's gonna grab on this pinhole here, pull this thing for all he's worth. And I'm gonna tap it back and forth a little. But we already captured the hydraulic fluid. When you pull this the first time, the hydraulic fluid gonna pour out. So we're gonna let it pull it again. Go ahead and max it out. Be nice if it just popped out like they will sometimes, but not this. This one said no. And this is one of them deals where you don't really put the pressure on this thing. All right, folks, that's all that's in the RAM. Don't you feel special? You bought that high dollar RAM? That's all that's in there. Now we got to get that nut off. Press this piece off probably with a press, even though these rams are not the same ram. I sure hope everything's the same dimension because I sent the man to the store with the one ram so you can get all these parts, the O-rings and whatnot. We got to get this nut off. Press this apart. This piece here will just slide freely down the shaft. Press this thing off of here and then replace everything. So getting the nut off is the next issue. Normally I would use a big impact, but it's one nut. It's been two nuts. So we're gonna just take it over the tractor, put a pin on it, put a big wrench on it.
Nailed the big wrench.
The 1.5 inches. Well, she almost fits her, but it's Chinese. We'll get this off and come back. All right, folks, so we're going to press this piece off of here on American-made rams. Most other rams I've ever taken apart. That piece just slides off and there's two O-rings in there, but that's not the case with this one and the other sister ram that I took apart already for this tractor. So we're going to press it out. This homemade press I built a long time ago. After I built it, I thought I'm never going to have a use for this. But it turns out I have lots of uses for it. Well, that girl made it look easy. I beat that last one half to death with a freaking ballistic rubber mallet. And like to never got it apart. Well, now I've done it. Like that 1.5 inch, Rich. You can't knock it out of there. You have to press it out. But I don't want to damage the threads, so I need to find something. Try to take up as much space as possible. I don't recommend using fillers like this, but this is not taking a tremendous amount of pressure, so, and it's not a air controlled situation. I'm manually controlling it. If it came flying out of there, I feel like we would all live through it. So there it is. Game over. Alright. Now let's change all the O-rings. This piece and reassemble. We'll be doing good.